Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Toddcast Sports Podcast. It's your boy Simbawa Nibaya Jr., Denise Obi, Omar Williams. Y'all know what time it is. It's time to talk sports here on the Toddcast. Every 2 weeks, Monday or Tuesday at 9 p.m. Going live. We're going a little earlier today because, we just feel like it. We got time. We're just going to do that. So that's what we're going to do. Start the show off. It is March, and March is Women's Month, and so Denise wants to start off with a little fact, and show women some love. So Denise, you can start the show off with your Women's Day fact you got for us. What you got for us?
All right. So we have this week we have Mia Hamm, one of the best to me, best soccer players, American soccer players of all time. She played for the US national team actually at the age of 15. So I know when I was 15, I was playing sports, but I wasn't thinking about playing for the US, so more power to her. She won four NCAA titles at North Carolina. She was actually part of the 1999 World Cup team. So big up to the World Cup is happening in June starting. So fun fact there. And she was the first woman inducted into the World Football Hall of Fame. So for her to get that type of honor, more power and respect to her. And that's a fun fact about Mia Hamm.
Big props to Mia Hamm here on Women's Month. Let's give her a hand. There we go. Mia Hamm. Congratulations. One of the greatest to ever do it. Hands down, period. One of the greatest to ever do it. All right, let's jump right in. We're going to jump into NFL news first. Not much NFL news, but y'all know I'm a Bengals fan, and I found out today that Trey Hendrickson is now a free agent. And that's not very good news for us to find out today because our defense is already not as good as it should be. And now it's a high possibility that Trey Hendrickson is now going to be a free agent and go somewhere else. So sad news for the Bengals. But again, he may decide to stay. They're not going to franchise tag him. And as most of us know, if we know football, the Bengals organization is likely the cheapest organization out there in the NFL. I said on the last podcast and probably one before that it might be time for ownership to sell to some new blood, some new up to date NFL ownership that with today's business model. Again, I'm not a million or billionaire businessman, but they say if it walks like a duck, I'm just saying. So again, I can't say I'll do the job any better because I've never had to have a job like that where that much money was at my disposal. But when you're coming from a fan's eye view, which is what we talk about here at the podcast, we talk about everything from the fan's perspective. As a Bengals fan, we have not done very well with paying our players over the years. So I will give them props. They paid Burrow, they paid Chase, they paid Higgins, right? Henderson was the last guy on the list. And unfortunately, I guess we're all about a high-powered offense and an average to maybe possibly below average defense, which puts a lot of pressure on the offense to perform and get things done. And when you can score, 30 points a game or over 30 points a game and still lose, that tells you something. Because now the offense has to do a lot more to get things done. So that's kind of sad. Anybody have any thoughts on that with Trey Hendrickson? If not, it's all good. I know it's my team. I know you really don't care. You're probably happy for it because it makes our defense even worse. So,
yeah.
I mean, all the best. All the best. That's
all the best.
Yeah,
we'll take you. We'll take you.
We got some Eagles news. What's our Eagles news for this week?
So, looks like the Eagles may be moving on from Dallas Goedert at the end of the season. He was our tight end, but sadly, he's been getting injured pretty much for the past couple seasons. So he may be moving on from him. And good news, Zach Ertz, former tight end for us, who is now with the Washington Commanders. maybe coming back home for one more year and retire. So that could be a good thing because he just came off injured and 35-year-old injured person. I don't know. May take some risk there, but I would glad to see him retire after one more year, maybe get it done and take us all the way to the end. But that's my NFL news for the Eagles.
Okay. Well, look, we'll give him some applause too. Zach Ertz coming back to Philadelphia for 1 year to retire. Listen, I'll just say that 35 years old, come off injury. Make sure you at the end of the season you get to go home in one piece, brother. That's all I'm gonna say. Go home in one piece. It ain't worth it. Go out there, do what you can do, make the money you're gonna make, and walk away in one piece. That's all I'm gonna say. So big ups to him. Congratulations. And hey, the Eagles lose one in game one. You know what I mean? So if that ends up happening. So let's see what happens. All right. NFL Combine. Now, I know my man Omar, he's got a lot on that. He's an NFL guy, former high school football player himself. So, Yeah. No, well, listen. Well, now,
right,
if I'm wrong, Omar, now you went to Penn State.
Okay.
I didn't play ball though.
You didn't play ball. Okay.
No, did not play ball.
Now, were you going to, or you just went?
No.
Okay.
So I just went because Okay. I was a fan, and
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can get into my story one of these days, but not tonight. Right?
Now, were you there when Johnny Carter was there?
No, I'm young. So I'm young. So Johnny Carter was there in like 93, 94. I graduated high school in 98. So LeVar Arrington.
Got you.
You know what I mean? Yeah, LeVar Arrington, those guys. I was around that time.
I do know someone who was there when he was there. She is a female. I think she might be 4 or 5 years older than me. So I think she actually got a chance to meet him. So like she kind of knew him. So I knew you weren't that. But I just kind of like
I ain't that old.
He's he was the Penn State star guy.
He was the man
in the 90s. So that's why that kind of came up. Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah.
And then eventually he left, and then he did better wherever else he went after that. So we'll just pass on by that. We won't even go down that road.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Even in the 90s.
Exactly.
Like a number one pick. Okay.
Number one pick. We had number one picks a lot in the 90s. I'm just saying. So, give me 1 second. I want to make sure I do this real quick. I don't want anything going on. All right. NFL Combine. Now, I know I saw a few things.
Okay.
I watched the tight ends. I watched some of the running backs. I watched some of the wide receivers. I didn't watch any of the quarterbacks or anybody on defense. I kind of was skimming through it a bit, and I had a glance at it every now and then on my YouTube TV screen where I have like four things up there, right? I will say, there's some athletes out there. I'm not sure how good they are game time, but doing their combine stuff looked pretty good. I'm not sure of the guy who had the 4.26, I think 40.
You got
I'll let Omar enlighten us on that. I'm pretty sure he has some things to tell us. So, you got the floor.
All right. So the NFL Combine. Let's get to the highlights, right? Before I get into the lowlights. Or I wouldn't even call them lowlights. It's up to you to determine whether that is or not. Well, we started off with the tight end from Oregon, Kenyon Sadiq. He ran a 4.39.
I saw that.
40-yard dash. Now, he's the first. He broke the tight end record. Okay, Vernon Davis had it 20 years ago.
Wow.
We all know who Vernon Davis is. He ran a 4.40. Then we got this guy also. He jumped 43.5 inches in the vertical. And 11-1 broad jump. Again, I don't know if y'all know a guy named Mike Mamula. He played for the Eagles. He was a DN.
I remember him.
Well, he was a combine like all-star.
Yeah.
Got to the NFL and it didn't translate. But this guy looks like he got the goods. We got another highlight. This guy named Sonny Styles. He's a linebacker for Ohio State. He also jumped a 43.5 vertical, which is the highest ever for a linebacker. So we got some records broken this year for a man that's 244 pounds. I don't have this on my notes, but there was also I want to say a tackle. Don't not have his name, but he ran a 4. I think he ran a 4.8. That was like something outrageous for a offensive lineman. And then to this 4.26 guy, his name is Bray Thompson. He went to Mississippi State. He clocked up 4.26. Now it's no record, but it's one of the faster times of all times. Okay, now that's all your highlights from the combine. Now let's talk about this other topic about this combine, about players not showing up.
Ooh,
right. So we have top players such as the national champ quarterback Fernando Mendoza. We got a safety from Ohio State, Caleb Downs, and another cornerback from LSU, Mansour Delane. Now these guys are touted to be 1, 2, 3 picks for like top 10 picks.
Yeah,
but they're not participating in the combine. Now here's the thing, and this is where I said it's either a low light or a highlight to you. Apparently, these pro days are the new thing now. Like you take all your wideouts, all the guys you've been throwing to all year.
Your own personal,
in your comfort. You've been practicing these routes with them all year long. So when you get out there and you show these scouts, you're hitting every throw. Okay. Again, it favors the player, but it also says something about these players wanting everything to kind of be, kind of coddled a little bit, right? So you got those 3 top players not participating. You had Shador the other year not participating. Now this is went back. Like the good players will just run the 40 and then leave. I don't know if you guys remember Megatron, Calvin Johnson.
Yeah.
He was so good in college, he just ran the 40, took off his sneakers and said, I'm done. I have nothing else to prove. So I get it, but he's also in the Hall of Fame. Now, these 3 guys, I'm not sure.
And he retired early.
I don't know how y'all feel about it, about guys not doing not going to the combine and rather doing these pro days. I'm not sure. I guess they know they're still going to go, and I guess they're looking at it like this. Their stock can drop going to the combine. So why not put all the chips in my favor and have a pro day at my own school? So that's the combine. I still love the combine. I think these guys are getting better and better. Records are getting broken every year. And for my personal opinion, because I didn't give one, I don't think it's a good idea for those guys not to go to the combine. They should go, participate, make the throws, make the catches, do the jumps, do the runs. Do your job. Do your job. Because I wouldn't draft you if I'm the GM. But who am I? I'm just Omar on the fan pocket.
Some would definitely say you're probably not the smartest guy in the room. But hey, that's their opinion.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? What you got, Denise?
So I got a couple things here. First thing is Kenyon Sadiq.
Yeah.
The tight end. Mm-hmm. I think Philly needs to go look at him a little bit.
Look at you. Okay.
Zach Ertz, I mean, he can play a couple games. But for the longevity of us, we need to look at Kenyon Sadiq. So I'm going to tag Philly in a post and,
okay,
make a comment about that. So I'm making note of that.
Okay.
Second thing is, so these guys, Fernando, do they have NIL deals?
Yeah. Every top player got one and is making millions of dollars.
Okay.
At this point.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you got.
But I was just saying. So this is my point that I've made a couple of times about these NIL deals, where it's kind of like, if I'm doing the pro day and I have this money, it's kind of like the drive is not there. The drive is just not that great anymore for these players to like play, or like it's like I don't want to show up to this because I'm making this money. If I'm to have my own pro day, do I really need to push myself out there even more? Like I already have the deal, so I don't agree with that, and I think they should be showing up at the pro day as well. Pro day and the combine as well.
Do both.
And the combine. Like you should do both at least, but I mean, give them time, give space between both events, so these players can recover, and then let's get ready for the combine. But they should be at both events.
Can I add to that? I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go. No, go ahead. Because I was gonna go ahead.
Okay, just to give you the original purpose of pro days. Mm-hmm. The original purpose for a pro day was not the way they made it. It's for it was for the guys who who was just on the edge of making it to the getting invited
Right.
and didn't get invited. So what happened is teams would say, I'm going to go to Alabama. And when I say teams, professional team says,
Right.
we're having a pro day in Alabama.
Mm.
If you are at a school a couple hours away, come join us. You can get thrown to by Jalen Hurts or name an Alabama quarterback.
Right.
Come out. We could check you out with him, and you can join our pro day. So it was kind of for the fringe guys, more or less than the stars. And it's been turned into this guys not going to the combine now. So it actually made sense the way it used to be. Now it's like just a showcase of a guy kind of making everything go his way. But I'm sorry.
Right.
You got it.
And that was gonna be towards my next point. I think, especially we have like those open practices for the NFL teams where fans are there. I think some of these players should be invited to those open practices.
Yes.
Like, show us your talent. Now you're live with the NFL team. So hey, if I'm considering, so for Keon Sadiq, for instance, if say 3 teams are considering him, okay, you have 3 teams. Instead of going to the pro day, here, go to these 3 teams. Show them what you got. Be in front of the fans, the audience, the players who you're going to be around, and show us your talent. Because I feel like they're good in these pro days. They're good in these combines. And it's like you get into NFL season or NBA season, for instance, Zion Williamson, no shade. And now they're like, it flake. It's kind of like you spent all this money, and it's like, it's over now. So I think that's just my opinion. They should do that.
I have a number of things wrong with this, but I'm gonna keep mine as short as possible. Number one, if you have heard me from our previous podcast that we have, and you've heard me on this podcast, I have been very loud about not liking the NIL, period. End of story.
Right.
I have my reasons. I'm not gonna run down that list. Go back and find the podcast and listen to that, right? I don't like it because it is straight up entitlement, number one. Number two, you're not a professional athlete. You're a collegiate athlete. And so when you start paying these college athletes, and I'm going to tell you what Bo Jackson said. I'm going to say what Bo Jackson said. Bo Jackson was on, I forget whose podcast it was. He was on a podcast. He was on Shaq's podcast. And Shaq asked him, what do you think about the NIL? And he said, the NIL, if I remember correctly, if I'm saying this correctly, he said the NIL has basically taken accountability away from these athletes.
Yep.
Basically, he's saying, if you don't treat me the way I want to be treated, I'm going to go in the transfer portal and I'm going to go somewhere where they're going to treat me the way I want to be treated. And since I'm making money, you can't tell me what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got these non-professional athletes who are in college who are now acting as though they are playing professional ball, whether basketball, football, or any other sport where there's an NIL deal, right? But basketball and football, they're at the top of the list. They're the cream of the crop. We all know that, right? And so at this point, you have college coaches who are choosing to not coach anymore because now they're dealing with attitudes, bad character, and what have you from these athletes. On top of that, now kind of wind this up. From the combine standpoint, I believe strongly that the NFL should put rules in place that say you must attend the combine, whether you are number 1 pick or you're number 1,000. You have to attend. It is your obligation to do so. If you want to play in this league, this is what you need to do. Because now you have a set of rules for the so-called NIL deal high draft picks. And everyone else is like, well, y'all are this group. So these are rules for y'all, and then there's rules for them. So now we're segregating the athletes based on the NIL deals, how much money they got, and then who we think is going to go number 1 to number 10 and all that stuff. So I think that overall, it's setting a bad precedent overall of there's rules for these guys and then there's rules for the rest of y'all. Because then that translates to the pro league. So now you think, hey, I'm coming into the league and I got rules already behind me, so you got to treat me. So now you got to treat me like the NIL treated me, and that ain't gonna happen, because now you're playing amongst men, and now you're dealing with the real business of what the pro leagues are, and you're gonna find out real quick that ain't how it works.
Right.
That ain't how it works. That's all I'm saying on that, because I don't want to stay on that. But I strongly agree. I like Denise's idea about going to both, but I think that it should be an obligation that you have to come to the combine, and you have to not just come or show up. You have to participate in the combine. You want to have your own pro day? Have that. That's fine. But we're going to look at you here getting thrown to by strangers and doing your workouts and seeing what you do in a neutral environment and not where you feel comfortable, where you can shine, because then you get into the league and then we're like, oh, he's not as good as we thought he was. And now all that stuff you did to make yourself shine is now just kind of tossed down the drain. Now, again, there are some guys that they are who they are, like they are just that dude. I get it. Not everybody's that dude. Not everybody. I'm gonna say this real quick. This is not NFL. This is more basketball. There's a boy that I coached some years ago who was playing ball in PA. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want to put that out there like that. But he plays at a school in PA. He's a junior. He's already scored over 1,000 points already as a junior. The trajectory that he's going, he is now on the NIL list going into his senior year. So, and I already said, I'm like, when he was playing for me in elementary, I'm like, he's going to the league. Like his IQ, his gameplay was already up above everyone else. And now he's averaging like 23 points a game as a junior, already scored over 1,000 points, won MVP of his league. I mean, he's incredible. But great head on the shoulders, great parents. So I strongly believe, even though he's on the NIL list, I strongly believe, this is what I believe. Now, I could be wrong, but as parents, I believe that they have enough common sense, I'll say common sense, to do the right thing when it comes to him and not be money chasing, but hey, where are you going to play at? What's your education going to be? And then when that's over and you do make it to the league, okay, now we'll help you. We got people around you to help you make those right decisions, because now we're dealing with a whole different ball game of money and a whole, like, you are now a professional. You are now in your field, in your career.
Right.
So I'm very happy for him. I kind of saw this coming. And again, I'm not going to say his name because I'm not going to put him out there like that. But he's doing incredible. And to be on the NIL list already and have 1,000 points already as a junior with another year left to play, incredible. So, all right, transition from NFL news. There's no NBA news really to talk about. We're going to skip over that today because it's just nothing really to talk about that's really interesting outside of bad basketball. So, anyway, we're going to go to NCAA news. All right. So, it has been said ever since Duke and Michigan played, which was a great game, by the way. It was a great game. Unfortunately, Michigan lost by 5 to Duke, 68-63. Probably one of the most watched college games. Probably, I would say top 5, top 10. I'll say top 10. I would say top 10 for a regular season. They didn't play the game at Duke because Duke was the home team. They actually played in D.C. at a neutral site and sold out the place. Like the lowest ticket you could get to go in there, I think, was like $2,000.
Wow. So
it was like NCAA March Madness Final Four atmosphere. Great game. So about this game was played about 2 weeks ago. During that following week, there was a conversation talked about the schools that have the toughest schedule ending their season. And Duke was placed number 1 on the list. So I said, okay, that's nice. And I said, had my man Omar, I said, can you pull up the list from these college teams to see, and let's compare which college teams have the toughest schedule going into March. And so the season is pretty much over now. I think it's like the last game of the season is like this week for everyone.
Mhm.
But I said, let's go back to after Duke and Michigan played, and let's see what schools have the toughest schedule left based on the list that we have. So we're going to start, first of all, we're going to start with Duke, and then we'll compare Duke's schedule to Michigan, Arizona's, Kentucky's, and Vanderbilt. Okay? So Duke's last games after Michigan, who do they have to play out?
All right, so we're not counting Michigan, right? So
we're not counting Michigan. Everything after Michigan and Duke.
All right,
so we're counting.
They play Notre Dame, Virginia, who was ranked number 11th, and NC State.
Okay. So what I'll tell you this is I didn't see the NC State game. I saw some of the Virginia game. I turned it off because they blew them out the water. I didn't even watch it.
They were ranked 11th. Virginia was.
They were ranked 11th, and Duke blew them out the water.
Yep.
So I didn't even watch the game.
Okay.
All right. So Notre Dame, Virginia, NC State. All right. Let's go to Michigan.
Oh, Michigan. Yeah. You know what? Look. Okay. I'll just say it and then we'll unpack it.
Yep.
Minnesota, Illinois, and that was it. Yeah.
Illinois is ranked.
And Illinois is ranked 10th.
They're ranked 10th.
They had 2 games after Duke, and it was Minnesota and Illinois who was ranked 10th.
Now, I will say Minnesota, who's not ranked, gave them a pretty good run, but then Michigan finally ran away with it. Illinois, they're ranked number 10. That was a good game. And then Michigan, they pulled that one out too. Okay. So let's go to Arizona.
Let's go to Arizona. Okay, hold on. I ain't pulled them up, but if you
that's okay.
Give me some time. Arizona.
What's that, Denise?
You said what?
I said I'm confused because I'm like, that's it. If you're like 11, 10 teams, I'm like, they could do it. But what's hard nowadays?
Now, so Duke had 3 games. Michigan had 2. Michigan played the number 11 team, also in the ACC.
Right. Okay.
Michigan played Illinois, also in the Big Ten.
It was 10. Duke played the number 11 team.
Right, and then Michigan played the number 10 team.
The number 10 team. Right.
Exactly.
So
okay.
Tomato.
Exactly. I got you.
I was like, okay.
Arizona, let's go. We got Baylor. Ready? Okay.
Yeah.
We got Baylor. We got Kansas, who's ranked 14.
And
we got Iowa State, who's ranked 6th.
Okay. All right.
2 ranked teams.
They got 2 ranked teams, and Baylor, not as good as they were last year, but still a decent team. Okay. Let's go to Kentucky.
Kentucky. Okay. Kentucky. Now, Kentucky's been good. They've been really good this year.
They've been good enough. Good enough.
Okay.
Then after Kentucky, we're going to do Vanderbilt. So let's do Kentucky.
Right, I got it up. Yep. All right. So Kentucky, are we ready? We got. Yep. They only had 2 games, like Michigan, which is South Carolina, and they played Vanderbilt, who's ranked number 25.
Okay. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Kentucky beat Vanderbilt. I believe. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're playing as we speak. They're playing Texas A&M.
Okay. And then Vanderbilt, of course, they play Kentucky. And who else do they have to play?
Who, Vanderbilt?
Yeah.
All right. So Vanderbilt plays Georgia, Kentucky. They got Ole Miss on the 3rd, and they got Tennessee on the 7th.
Okay, so for Vanderbilt, that's a decent schedule, but that's not necessarily a tough schedule.
I was like, that's not really tough.
But to be ranked 25th, and so that's good for them. Okay,
it's good for them, right?
All right, so let's go top 3. You got Arizona, Michigan, Duke, right?
Okay.
So in my own opinion,
who you got?
I think that Arizona has the tougher schedule than all 3 because they played 2 ranked teams, right?
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
2 ranked teams, 2 highly ranked teams.
2 highly ranked teams, not just ranked. Yeah.
Michigan, I think for me, Michigan and Duke, while again, Virginia is an ACC team that Duke beat, they didn't just beat them, they blew them out. And then Illinois is a Big Ten team that Michigan beat as well. I'm like, it seemed like after Michigan and Duke played, the schedule actually got a bit softer.
Okay.
in my opinion.
Okay.
Now, Arizona, of course, they had 2 ranked teams, and then they played. Who was the other team they played? Was it South Carolina?
Arizona South Carolina. Yep.
Okay, and South Carolina actually was on the list that I saw, but I think they were on that list like Vanderbilt, kind of like, hey, like for them, this is a tough schedule, right?
Iowa State. Yeah.
Okay. Iowa
And they're
State.
6th. They were ranked 6th in the country. That's pretty good.
So, in my opinion, I think Arizona had the toughest schedule, to be honest. That's my opinion. Now, again, I'm not sure where all the metrics are and the analytics, but I don't think Duke had the toughest schedule getting to the end of the season. Now, playing Michigan, them playing each other, yeah, like that was a pretty tough schedule there. Once you get past that, it kind of got a little cupcake to me. So, again, you played an ACC team in Virginia that was supposed to be, legit, being number 11, and you blew them out the water. So, again, not hating on Duke. It just seems like it's like we all know that Duke's the blue blood, the blue blood, right? The blue blood.
Yeah.
So I get it. They're the blue blood. I will say this. I'm interested in seeing what Duke's journey in the bracket is, because it always seems to be they have the easiest road in the bracket. So I want to see how that pans out. So let's see what happens. So I think Arizona had the tougher schedule. What do you guys think?
I think Arizona has the tougher schedule, and I'm looking even more. Arizona had the tougher season schedule of all of them too. Their season schedule is tough.
I think that them and Michigan had a pretty good roster. I would put Arizona above Michigan though. Arizona had a pretty solid season with their schedule.
Solid, man. Solid.
And I would say, honestly, that Iowa State actually had it for Iowa State. It was a good schedule for them as well, I believe. So, but yeah, overall.
Yeah. Michigan. Yeah. Michigan started to pick up at the end of the season with the top 10 teams.
Yeah, because their first 12 games, they were blowing everybody out.
Yeah.
And they were playing teams that were somewhat legit, but it's like they were so above the competition. Mm-hmm. It was like, oh, Michigan beat somebody by 40 again. It's like, all right, well, okay, they're really good. When it started getting this different competition, they had to really play to start winning games. And I think the loss to Duke was a good thing for them, because now it's like, all right, you lost to Duke, and you kind of see what you have to do. So if you see them again, you know what has to happen. I think for Duke, it was good for them to play Michigan too, because outside of losing earlier in the season, who did they lose to? It was in the ACC, but it'll come back to me. Outside of that loss, they had a couple tough games, but it's like when it got to the fourth quarter, they just kind of outlasted people. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. North Carolina beat them. So
that was a good game too.
That was a good game too. That's the best rivalry game in college basketball. We all know that.
That was a game.
So there's no hands down, that is the best college rivalry basketball ever. Overall, I mean, listen, Duke has a good team. I'm not knocking that at all. Shire has that team rolling. It's interesting to see how things are going to go in March Madness. Speaking of March Madness, it's kicking off soon. So what do we have for March Madness? What's our key point for the March Madness kickoff?
Well, I have my eyes on Villanova.
Okay.
I think they're gonna bring the heat this season. It's an oldie but goodie. But I have my eyes on Villanova. They've been playing some good ball lately, and so I'm gonna leave that as Villanova. As far as another team, St. John's, they did just lose to UConn. They got blown out.
Yes, they got
man and UConn across the board. Actually, to the point I wrote the scores down. So the women, they was 85-49, and the men 72-40.
Woo.
So I don't know what's going on with St. John's. We just forgot to play ball that night, and it was a whiteout game. So I'm not gonna say too much on that. But they're actually.
I will be interested in finding out what Rick Pitino said to them after the game.
Yeah, I'll ask my cousin and see what she says.
Okay, yeah. I'd be interested to see what he said, because Rick Pitino has said some things in the past 2 seasons. It's kind of like, well, you ain't wrong. I'm like, so.
But I mean, they need that.
Yeah.
I think they need that, especially these college players. Like, yeah, you're getting all this money, but at the same time, you're not a baby. You're not a boys basketball player. You're not in middle school. Like, you need you need the real truth.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But
Yeah.
actually, right now they're playing Georgetown, and it's 57-54 in favor of Georgetown right now. So
Mm,
cross our fingers, say a
that's
prayer.
not helping their case right there.
Not at all.
But Villanova is my team. Villanova.
Got you. Okay, let's bring it back home. Villanova.
Yes, I got to bring it
St.
back
John.
home. Villanova, not St. John's, but Villanova. Yes.
Got you.
Mhm.
Okay. I haven't looked much into March Madness yet. I'm kind of waiting for the season to kind of finally end and then kind of do my bracket and see what comes of that. So we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a lot of busted brackets this year. Last year, they got busted early because you had a couple teams that won. And everybody was like, man, I can't even, I'm done. So, but I think, you know, like I said before, as much as I dislike the NIL, I believe the NIL has done much more for basketball from a competition standpoint than it has for football. So, and that's just my own honest opinion. It's health football, but I just think the football teams are still like their powerhouses are still the powerhouses. And basketball is like you can get beat on any given night.
And
I think there's a lot of teams out there that the NIL has helped.
Yeah.
And now, you know, let's just say, for instance, like you are a Duke and you go up against, you know, North Carolina A&T. Like you may have to actually fight to win that game because, like, while A&T may not be up there like you are, but like players are going places and they're helping build these programs because the NIL is allowing them to. And I think that's a great thing for these schools to get these kind of players. I just don't like how people are just going like you're at a school one year, you're at another school another year, another school another year. And it's like, are you really getting education or are you just kind of playing the semi-pro league, you know, way of doing things? Because, again, let me not go down that road again. Anyway, let's see what happens when the season's over, and then we can kind of get into March Madness because there's going to be a lot to talk about. Because I want to see if Michigan can get to the. Actually, I'll be honest. I want to see Michigan play Arizona because Arizona is really good.
Really good.
And I actually want to see Duke play Arizona, but only one team can play them. So it depends on where they are in the bracket. So, like, if Duke and Arizona are on the same side, then yeah, they can meet in the Final Four. But if Michigan's on the other side, Michigan has to get to the championship, and so does Arizona for them to play them. So I like to see both those teams play because I believe those are the best two teams in the nation. Iowa State Iowa State, correct? Yeah, snuck in this past week. I don't think, well, let me just not say that. I don't think they're as good as those three, but they played well enough to get to that point. So let's give props where props are due. So anything else on March Madness?
Well, I'll give an early prediction. I know we're going to talk about it early. I got Arizona.
Okay.
I also like Michigan, but I'm a fan of guard play. Guard play in the NCAA usually gets it done, but this year might be the year of the bigs. Between BYU's big man, Boozer, and them two bigs from Arizona, you got the only star as a guard for your team. So
the only thing with BYU is they lost a one big man. So that's
they did. Okay.
So that could be but so now you got the freshman that's got to pick his game up, and I'm like, I don't know he can do that against some of them bigger teams.
Yeah,
they can go far. I would say that BYU without their main big guy can get to the Elite Eight.
Okay,
I think that might be the furthest they go. Sweet 16, I think, is almost. I think that might be a little disrespectful, but I think Elite Eight they can get there. If they had him, I'm like, okay, they might actually can get to the Final Four, but that's a lot of pressure on that freshman without him being there. So, and they still got the guard that came from Baylor.
Okay.
So if he steps his game up, that can help. But I think that's a lot to ask when you got that one guy that's like your 1 and 2, and then you got your point guard that's still doing what he does. So we'll see. We'll see. I think it's possible. I say this every year, and most times it happens. It depends on, but I think somebody's going to surprise Duke by like the Elite Eight. Like someone's gonna be like, "Oh, y'all didn't see us coming, did you?"
Bracket buster.
But we'll see what happens. I think Arizona can get to the championship game. I think Michigan can too. So can Duke. I'm looking for that Cinderella though to see how far a Cinderella can go. So when we get the bracket, I'm like, all right, where's the Cinderella at? And we'll see what happens. So
yeah.
All right. Enough of that. Let's see what we have next on the dock. We have FIFA World Cup is up next. What we got with FIFA World Cup? What we got?
So looks like games kick off June 11th. Can I just say first anything? I think this kind of has been not the best marketing efforts of FIFA and soccer because I feel like they didn't allocate enough money towards marketing because I feel like people haven't really been talking about it. But then also there's a whole lot of stuff going on in the U.S. right now.
Yeah.
But also it starts June 11th. We have teams like Mexico, South Africa, Canada, South Korea that have already secured their spots, and they'll be in New York, New Jersey, Dallas, and Houston, Texas, all over LA, all over California, and a couple of other states that you'll see as many games as you want to see. So stay tuned for more, but FIFA's the summer topic.
FIFA World Cup coming at you June 11th. Lot going on there.
Yep.
All right. I got 2 more things on my list I want to talk about. But the one thing I want to talk about, going back to Winter Olympics. So I kind of saw this on Instagram, and I was like, I wonder how true this is. I actually want to pull this up. I can make sure I want to actually have you guys actually see what this looks like. It's talking about how much these athletes get paid when they win medals, whether it's gold, silver, bronze, whatever. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting, because I really didn't know what the money was they were getting paid to do this, or what was happening, or whatever. And so I'm like, okay, this looks interesting. So I had this thing on Instagram. It says how much Olympic athletes get paid for winning medals. So someone out there, if this is like something someone made up, like, let me know. Please don't let me be a fool and just say this stuff and be like that guy. All right. But I almost feel like this is kind of true. So it says here, Germany, if they win gold, they get 36K. Silver is 24K. Bronze is 12K. United States, if they win gold, they get 37.5K. Silver, 22.5. Bronze, 15K. France, if they win gold, they get 95K. If they win silver, it's 47K. If they win bronze, 24K. Spain, if they win gold, they get 111K. Silver, 57K. Bronze, 36K. Italy, if they win gold, they get 214K. Silver, 150K. Bronze, 75K. Pakistan, I think I'm saying that right. If they win gold, 250K. Silver, 150K. Bronze, 75K. Taiwan, if they win gold, they get 720K.
Man.
They win silver, they get 251K. If they win bronze, they get 178K. Singapore, if they win gold, they get 792K. If they get silver, 395K. If they get bronze, 197K. Norway, whether it's gold, silver, or bronze, they get nothing. You get $0. Doesn't matter what you win. You just get a pat in the back and they say, thanks for representing our country. We appreciate you. That's the last I see of the list. Now, I saw another list out there somewhere, and I'm like, this one looks a little finagle, so I'm like, I'm not going to use that one. But, the payout gap seems to be exponential in a few countries where it's like, if you get 792K, you get silver, you get like 400K less if you get silver or more. So just from saying that, what are you guys' thoughts on if you win gold, silver, or bronze outside of Norway? Okay. Like what that amount is for these athletes who are getting paid, every 4 years if they win a medal.
Well, first, I thought the U.S. was gonna be cheap and say something like $10,000. Not gonna
Yeah,
lie, yeah,
yeah, I
something
do
cheap.
too.
And then you
Yeah.
said Norway. I was like, all right, I take it back. I take it back. But second thing, is this before or after taxes?
This is probably before, more than
Right here.
likely.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take off about maybe 10, 15,000. All right.
Okay.
I think. I mean, they work hard. Like they train. I mean, some of these athletes they do have full time jobs outside of their Olympic
Yeah.
decisions. But I think it's great to like pay their athletes. You're spending all this money to go compete because some things may have not be covered, or
Mm,
some you have to do fundraising. So I think it's good to pay them, especially for all three levels and not just if you get gold, you get something.
right.
Like I think it's fair that they do it for all three
Yeah.
medals. So I'm for it.
Okay. About you, Omar?
I got 2 points. My first point is I bet you if we did some kind of research with the countries that's giving up 800K and 700K, they're probably doing well, like financially well as a country, right?
Yeah.
And my second point is if you name them names of them countries that's giving up 700K and 800K, when's the last medal you heard somebody get from Singapore?
Right.
So they never had to pay that out.
Yeah.
Or Taiwan. They never had to pay that out. It's the countries that have to pay that out have reasonable amounts.
Yeah.
100K. What
Yeah.
was the lowest? I mean,
The lowest I think was like, I think the lowest might have been 15K.
15K. I'm sure it's coming from a country that gives out medals all the time, right?
Yeah.
I can't give everybody 300K, but if I'm a country that doesn't really get winners, first, seconds, or thirds, you know what? How about an incentive be you get over almost $1 million?
Right.
Why not? Right. So I like the idea.
Yeah.
I also think Norway is probably not in the best fight, but Norway probably wins a lot of Winter Olympics medals.
Mm. Yeah.
So I don't know if they got the budget to keep giving out 40, 50K like that. So
yeah, I can't vouch for that, so I don't know. Can't vouch for that one.
I got you.
So I just did some research.
What you got?
Fun fact: Norway won the most Olympic gold medals at the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan.
You made my point.
Earning a record 18 golds. So that's
makes sense.
$0.
Yeah.
So let's just say Norway gives out 37K for gold
times
18.
Times 18.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's 3.7. That's about $5 million.
Yeah, they're not giving.
That's a rough. That's rough math.
Yes.
The country after that will go bankrupt.
That ain't 5 million. What is it? You said times 18?
37 times 18.
Oh yeah, no, that ain't 5 million at all. Let's do the math.
What? He's doing the math.
Oh,
you said 18 gold?
666,000.
Yeah.
I mean, that's still a good amount of money.
But
But again, depends on your country. Like, what kind of money can your country afford to pay out?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
exactly.
You know, Taiwan, they're like, hey, like we got some change, so we can do a little something. You know, so I get it. Okay. Listen, I'm sitting here. I'm kind of like, man, maybe I should get into a bobsled team and go out there and try and win me a medal. You know what I mean? I'm like, shoot, give me 250K. I'm good to go. I'm like, hey, I ain't got to work for the next year.
All right.
I got 4 years to get back. I'm like, all right, we got to put this out.
Exactly.
Invest here, you know, get a little real estate there.
Start marketing.
There you go.
There you go.
But listen, these are athletes who put their bodies on the line during practice for 3 years, get ready for the 4th year to come out. So I get it. I'm not mad at it. I really didn't know what the amount was, and that just kind of blew my mind when I saw some of those numbers. So I thought I would share that. So, all right, last thing of the night, miscellaneous. I'm actually going to play some audio for you guys if it'll cooperate for me. So Denise sent us this Instagram reel, and it's a children's hockey game in between intermission of an actual hockey game. And I want you guys to listen to what is actually going on, and then we'll tell you guys what actually is going on after you hear this. All right, check this out. All right. So what do you think is happening in this thing right now? Because it's a children's hockey game, and you know, Omar's like, yeah, it sounds like they're cheering. And we're looking at it, and what's happening is there is a fight happening between the children on the ice. It is an all-out brawl
Yes.
between both teams. And if you see this clip, the person that videotaped this is laughing their butt off. They're zooming in, they're zooming out, and they're going at it. Now, I don't know if this was staged or this was real. I don't know. If it was staged, I get why they staged it. If it's real, it proves my point. That hockey is straight up promoting fighting during the hockey games. And listen, they're doing it, whether they're doing it on purpose or not, they're still doing it. On top of that, now we have 7 and 8-year-olds who are getting into an all-out brawl. First of all, where are the referees at?
Yeah.
Where are they at? I didn't see one referee on the ice. Not one.
Or a parent.
Or a parent. And the parents, they're close to the glass, and the parents are just looking at them. No one's saying, oh my God, what's going on? Why are they fighting? They're just sitting there looking at like it's just natural to just let this happen. And then you have at the end of it, you have the goalie from the other team come bolting down and bum rush another player as if he was running into him and like he was like a punching bag. And the crowd's like, oh, and I'm like, that's entertaining for you? Really? What do you guys have to say about that?
So, you go first. You have kids, so
Yeah, when I saw the clip, I'm like, they don't even go this hard in pro hockey. Like, I thought the goalies were out there. It was a kid on top of a kid, like punching down. I'm like, what? To your point, was it staged? What was it a real fight? I don't know. There was no referees. Now, granted, like 2 referees maybe, and if it was a free for all, and if they're trying to get other kids to get pulled apart, and you got these other ones going, I don't know, but it looked bad for hockey. That was a bad look for 7 and 8-year-olds to be out there, and it's dangerous to fight on the ground like that with them sharp blades. I don't even think that's a great idea.
Yes.
And they hurt.
Like soon as somebody hits the ground in the pros, they pull them. Come on, go. Time to go. It's over.
Yeah.
These kids are on the ground, and your instinct as a child, you're going to kick. So it was just ugly. It was ugly. It was bad. And that crowd, man, it looked like Gladiator. It's like everybody was yelling like, oh.
Like they were egging them on. They're like, keep going.
And when that goalie came out, it was like, oh yeah, we got.
And the goalie was a nice sized boy.
Big size guy.
I'm like,
I didn't like it. I mean, I like Denise. I don't have a problem with fighting, but when adults do it, not 7 and 8 years old.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. I think just keep it in pro leagues, the big guys, college, because then you're just setting the kids up to say, okay, I can do this. Like for instance, I'm gonna add Draymond Green into this. I feel like Draymond Green, he was fighting as a kid, and no one told him to stop. So it just kind of kept going to high school, now to the NBA. So with these kids, it's like you got to nip this in the bud when they're that young. Because if you don't, then it goes into high school, college, and if they go into the pro leagues. It's not a good look. Let's leave it in the NHL, leave it in where it needs to be. But I don't think it's a good look for the kids because now you're telling the kids, okay, if I don't get my way, I can go fight to get what I want. And that's just not going to work. So.
Yeah, that was sad to watch. Listen, staged or not, like it's still not
It's not a
cool.
good look. Yeah.
Because like you said, like in NHL, it's normally a one-on-one thing. The guys just they like,
Control.
okay. And listen, I'm not for that either. Now listen, defend yourself. Don't let the guy just beat you up. I get that. But if we're like promoting it, now in this instance, like this was team on team brawl. It was like WWE cage fight. That's how bad it was.
It was bad.
And so, you know, I'm not gonna stay there too long, but I'm just saying, man, like, where do we draw the line at? Like the example, you get your example from what it is you're watching. And here's the thing too, is like, even though this happened and the parents were behind the glass, like no parent could go out there and stop it because the glass prohibits you from going anywhere. You can't go anywhere. Right. But my question was, where was the referee or referees who was over this game when this happened? That and the person videotaping it, they actually pan out to see the whole rink, and there's not one referee in sight. Not one. And then to your point, with the blades. Like the blades are dangerous. I don't know if anybody saw. I didn't see it, but I saw it on Instagram of the girl who got her eye cut with the what do you call it? They were going how they go around the rink, the relay race inside the rink. I forget what they call that little. Yeah, for Winter Olympics.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she caught a blade very close to her eye because she fell. So these blades, I used to work at Dick's Sporting Goods years ago. Yeah. And I worked, and I didn't know how sharp the ice skating blades were, because whenever someone bought blades, you would sharpen it for them and then give it to them. I never got cut by one, but when I touched it, I was like, these things are like food cutting sharp. Like it don't take much to cut. So they are sharp as all get out. So yeah, just not a good look, very dangerous. And I'm gonna leave it at that because I can keep going on and on about that. But again, that just kind of proved my point about the whole hockey fighting thing. Like now we're telling our children it's okay to fight when you don't get your way. It's okay to fight in sports because we're not promoting sportsmanship. We're just promoting something else different. So anyway, we'll stop there. That's our show for today. Catch us every Monday or Tuesday, 9 p.m. live. Catch the replays on our channel. You can like and subscribe, which is the most important thing to our channel. And catch us every 2 weeks here on YouTube, giving you sports talk from the fans' perspective. We all have our own expertise in what we talk about. Again, we're not journalists, sports journalists. We're not sports analysts, but we do talk a lot of sports because, again, the eye test says a lot. And as you can see, we watch a lot of sports, and we have a lot to talk about, a lot to say. And if I do say so myself, a lot of it makes a whole lot of sense. So, and common sense, as we said before, not very common, but you know, we talk about it here because we have a lot of common sense here. So for myself, Denise, Omar, thanks for joining us. We will catch you guys in about 2 weeks. Again, subscribe so you know when we're going live and when our videos are going to come up. You can catch the replay if you need to, and kind of go from there. Eventually, we are going to have an Instagram as well, and we'll have some reels on there. You can catch some things on there as well. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great rest of your week, and we will see you in 2 weeks. Have a good night, good day. Talk to you later.